What's going on, guys? My name's Chris. You're watching Raising the Bar. Today, we're going to be talking about attractive qualities in a man. The top 5 things that girls look for in a guy. Number 1, and I think this is a really important one, that is humor. Humor is extremely important, and this isn't just with girls, this is just in life. If you can find ways to make other people laugh, in turn, what you're doing is bringing joy to those people. So when it comes to having humor, the best thing you could do in order to develop that, if you lack that, is to engross yourself in stand-up comedy, watch a lot of comedy movies, and try to figure out ways that you could adapt and integrate some of the things that you see in these movies, in these stand-up comedy specials, little jokes, little subtleties, because ultimately, if you're sitting there and you're engrossing yourself in a lot of comedic performances, both theatrical as well as cinematic, then you're going to start to develop that characteristic about yourself. And ultimately, if you can relay that in conversation and try to be a little bit more humorous, a little bit more lighthearted, and have a little bit more fun with your conversations, you're going to find that people gravitate to you. Because when you're sitting there smiling and laughing, guess what happens? You're going to be happy. And by being able to put that positive emotion out there and make other people feel good, man, how much better does it get? You want to be around those people. It's magnetic, it's gravitational, it pulls people in. And when it comes to the dating world, this is very important with women because they want that positivity and they want to smile, they want to laugh, and most importantly, they want somebody that they can have fun with. So number 1, humor. If you don't have it, start working on it. Number 2, being adventurous and exciting. Nobody likes somebody that doesn't want to go out, that doesn't want to have fun, that doesn't have any time to spend on activities that help strengthen a relationship. If you're dating somebody and your idea of a date is simply going out to eat or simply going to the movies or something very basic and mundane, you need to think outside of the box. Maybe it's going on a hike. Maybe it's trying something new with them. Maybe it's go-kart racing. Maybe it's going to an amusement park. Just make sure that you're putting something in place that's exciting and engaging with the person that you're looking for. Because if you do not have this quality, what happens, and this is inevitable, is boredom. If you are dating somebody and you let them get bored because you don't want to have any fun and you're just not an exciting person to be around, then ultimately it's going to kind of push people away a little bit, right? Because you're going to be the quote-unquote wet noodle of the group. You don't want that. Think about ways that you could create excitement. I love concerts. Concerts are my thing. Think about that. Maybe there's a show. Maybe it's a comedy show, a magic show, a hypnosis show. Or maybe it's just going to a concert. Think about different ways that you could integrate fun and exciting and most importantly new things into your relationship, because that is one of the most attractive qualities in a guy when a girl is dating somebody. If you are an exciting and extremely adventurous person, then you're going to come across as fun. At the end of the day, that's the most important thing. You want to be a fun person to be around. So think about that. Are you exciting? Are you adventurous? Are you actively seeking new fun things to do? If not, start working on it, because that's number 2, being exciting and adventurous. Number 3, ambition. Being ambitious is so important because if you're sitting there in a stagnant position and you don't aspire to get to a different level, or you're working a basic job and you have no ambition to go out and try something new and ultimately advance your career, that is seen as a very negative thing in a relationship. Girls, wives, women, they all love ambition. You don't have to be a millionaire. All right, you don't have to have a ton of money. You don't have to have tons of nice things, because that is the end game goal. What girls look for is a guy that's driven, ambitious, and motivated to make things happen. Because when we think, let's rewind, right? Let's think back to the evolutionary times where the hunter-gatherer times. A woman is more prone to be attracted to an ambitious, driven individual because that's what's going to save them. That's going to keep them safe. The same subconscious thought process happens this day and age. So if you are ambitious and motivated, that's going to be a huge draw to women, because that's important in terms of longevity, establishing a foundation for the future, and helping the both of you grow and foster as a couple. If you are lacking ambition, you are lacking motivation, please reach out to me. I have a lot of different ways that I've been able to overcome this in the past, and one crucial tip I can give you is get the ball rolling. Because once you get the ball rolling, what you're going to find is you begin to build momentum. And As you receive small little successes along the way, you're going to get reinforced that the decisions you're making are going in a positive direction. And if you can harness that energy and continue to use it in order to continue to drive and motivate yourself, you're going to be that much better off. Now, one caveat to the whole drive, ambition, motivation thing. This can't be done because of somebody else. It can't be done for your parents, can't be done for your girl. It has to be done for you. What do you want for yourself? Do you want to sit on the couch and play video games all day? Or do you want to go get out there and make things happen, leave your footprint on this world? It has to come from within. Because if you're doing it for other people, you're not going to be internally satisfied with what you're doing, and ultimately it's going to be this false reality that you're imposing upon yourself that's not sustainable. So figure out what drives you, what motivates you, what you want out of this life, and then go after it. That is number 3, ambition, motivation, and drive. If you don't have it, start working on it, because you're gonna find that it not only attracts people to you, but it helps retain and solidify relationships. Number 4, this is a big one, guys, being financially responsible and financially independent. This goes right back to the whole being ambitious, driven, and motivated thing that I just talked about a moment ago. Because if you are not financially stable, you are a liability to those around you. You might not want to admit that, but if you are the type of person that's late on your payments, can't pay the rent, can't do this, doesn't have the money for that, then guess what? Somebody else is probably going to try to pick up the slack because they care about you, because they like you. And guess what's going to happen? Resentment. Resentment's going to build. You're going to be seen in a different light as a result of your poor financial choices. If you're sitting out there and you are struggling financially, what I want you to do is sit down and figure out exactly why you're struggling financially. Is it a result of buying stupid things that you don't need? Is it a result of having a very bad job? What is it that you can do to make a change so that way you can become financially independent, stable, and supportive of the person that you love? This is so important, guys. Every girl out there, whether they want to admit it or not, cares about financial stability. Same thing with guys. I've dated a lot of girls in my day that were not financially stable, and it drove me nuts. I can't stand it. Girls can't stand it. Get yourself on your feet, establish your own financial independence, and what you're going to find is that is going to be a very attractive quality. Now, as I said a moment ago, you don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be rich. But what you do need to be able to do is pay your bills, pay it on time, and be somebody that can be relied on. Because when you take a look at something as simple as a credit score, the reality is that says a lot about a person. Are you responsible or are you irresponsible? Typically that number will tell you that. I used to make a joke with my buddies that I was going to start pulling the credit scores of the girls that I was dating because it was one financial disaster after another. And I was sick of having that liability in my life. And I know that sounds cold and I know that sounds harsh, but how can I take care of myself and the person that I'm with if all they're doing is spending their own money irresponsibly and I have to come behind them and pick up the slack? You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be on the receiving end or the giving end of that scenario because it's bad for both sides. So guys, focus on becoming financially independent. Get your money right, get your mind right, and I promise you, your relationships will follow suit. And number 5, this is really important and not nearly talked about enough, and that's emotional intelligence. There's a massive divide in terms of the way women think and the way that men think. When men are presented with a problem, we want to fix the problem. Okay, here is the issue, here's the desired solution, let's put it into action and go. Women don't usually operate like that. When a girl that you're dating or a girl that you're married to, anything like that, comes to you with a problem, they're not looking to you to give them a solution to the problem. That's not why they're saying that to you. They're saying their problem to you because they want somebody to listen. They want somebody to empathize with them, to have that emotional intelligence to let them know that everything's going to be okay. Don't start recommending solutions. That's part of emotional intelligence, understanding the different dynamic between the thought process of a woman and the thought process of a man, because they're not the same. I still kind of struggle with this because I think in such a linear fashion that, okay, here's the problem. Why aren't we solving it with this solution? That's not how girls operate. Girls just want a shoulder to cry on, somebody to vent to, and you need to be there for them in those situations because that shows that you are listening. If you're sitting there trying to craft a solution in your head, chances are you're probably not listening to everything that's coming out of their mouth because you're so caught up with the response that you have in your mind. Listen, guys. Focus on becoming an active listener. There's tons of different courses that you could take on this, tons of videos on YouTube, but active listening is a crucial skill in a relationship and something that a lot of women really look for in a man because it shows that they're very supportive. You're going to find that there's a lot of couples out there that have terrible communication. And I think the core of that miscommunication stems from either side not having the emotional intelligence to understand where the other person is coming from and also what they're looking to get out of a particular discussion. So think about that, guys. Hopefully this video helps you out. Hopefully if you're in a relationship right now, you can utilize these strategies to improve upon your relationship. If you are not in a relationship, I want you to keep this in the back of your mind next time you do get a girlfriend or maybe you propose to the girl that you're with, because I promise you it will make your life, their life, and your relationship all the better. And with that, guys, I am out of here. Thank you so much for listening. Feel free to visit my website, RTBTransformations.com. Feel free to drop a comment down below. Please smash that like button. And with that, I am out of here. Make today great, guys. Take care.